We made it to the Orgill dealer show in New Orleans of all places this year, and there are thousands of companies that attend this show, but there's only 10 that made my top 10 list. Orgill has been around since 1847 and now has annual sales into the billions, which can just provide you a bit of perspective on how big this show truly is. I love coming to these shows because not only are these products readily available for purchasing generally, but it also provides you an opportunity to see new, cool, amazing products that are just hitting the marketplace now. With that being said, let's get to my top 10 list in no particular order. Number 1, Smart BioHemp.
This is Smart BioHemp, and it's a wood protectant made from all natural ingredients that are non-toxic, safe for your family. You can apply it indoors and outdoors and has no issues at all with that. It's completely safe for your family. And unlike products that are sealants, this product actually penetrates the wood, and as you can see, it soaks through. So this is something we actually treated earlier about an hour ago. You can see it's already soaked through halfway. And what it does, unlike the other products that sit on top of the wood.
So you only applied this to the very top, and all of a sudden it's soaking all the way through there?
It's penetrating the wood.
That's pretty impressive.
And usually on a board like this, it'll do it within 24 hours.
One coat?
One coat.
Really?
Yes.
All the way through?
All the way through.
That's unbelievable.
It polymerizes the wood. It penetrates it, unlike other protectants or sealants that sit on top of the wood, eventually dry out and peel off like you were talking about. This, every time you put it on, it makes it stronger. It makes the wood stronger and makes it more resistant to water, to UV light. And our contractor treated wood with it and found that there's no dimensional change, so he doesn't have to wait a week to see what happens with that wood. It immediately is available. So, and that's one of the things we talk about, is it protects against moisture, UV light, surface degradation, and dimensional change. There we go.
Smart BioHemp. Check it out.
Now there are a whole lot of different types of tools and materials at this show, whether it's home good items, things for kids, barbecues, food, snacks, and so forth. There is an item for mere anything and everything that you can think of that you would normally see at a store that you walk into. But personally for me, I'm always on the hunt to find items that I have never seen in a store before, and that leads me to a peelable paint called Unpaint.
This is the first architectural removable paint in the world. For architectural use, we're the first ones to do magic. So it's biodegradable, it's compostable, it comes in more than 1,000 colors, and Unpaint solves a lot of the, let's say, misuses that paint has. So right now with Unpaint, everything that was unpaintable becomes paintable.
And what are the, where do you see this generally going to be used?
So let's say you're a wedding planner, or you want to change your color if you rent an apartment. First, rental proof paint, right? You're able to change colors easy, fast, get your deposit back. Don't worry about if you have to repaint. Just peel it off when you leave and that's it. You get, for example, an ugly cabinet, you're able to paint it, peel it off when you leave the apartment, get your deposit back again.
And how many coats do you need for application purposes?
We recommend 2 coats. Like a normal paint, it will give you around from 160 to 200 square feet, depending on the color of the surface and if it's porous or non-porous surfaces. But you're able to apply it to any surface except textiles. And what we created is a product that we want to be calling it expanding paint off the wall. So the idea is the same technology you use to paint your wall, you're going to be able to paint your dining table, your floor, your car, whatever you want to paint for a temporary use, and be able to apply it and have a safe peel.
How long is there? How fast does it dry?
Well, it can dry from 15 minutes to an hour. It's a water-based compound.
Depending on temperature.
Temperature, humidity, it all depends on like the environment itself. It's a water-based compound.
Quite the unusual product that I don't know if I personally would use myself, but I'm sure could potentially happen, especially now that I have kids. I love innovations, especially innovations that coincide with items that we use frequently and haven't changed until now. Honorable mentions go out to Rapid Rope, which is basically just dental floss on steroids for utility rope. Great Stuff just came out with a line of disposable gloves that seemingly won't break, or at least extremely difficult to break, and if you've used others in the past, you know they're easy to tear. Diablo also came out with some new sandpaper items, which makes the sanding process easier, as well as noting that they have double-sided sandpaper as well, which is nice. But the item that made my top 10 for simple innovation upgrade was a sink clip nonetheless.
This is our patented Easy Torque technology on a sink. So in the old days, the sink had a rail along the channel there, and you had to slide your sink clips into the sink in order to get it to fasten to the countertop. We actually pre-install these clips on the sink, so now you can just drop and drill in the hole. So you drop the sink into the hole, use your nut driver, that spins this clip up and into the countertop. Quick and easy for DIY and pros.
Yeah, so this literally just kind of comes up into place, comes this direction, and then
into the countertop.
Right into the bottom base of the countertop.
Correct. So the drop and drill process, we have a YouTube video that also shows exactly how that process works, and again, patented to our sinks to make it easy for the DIY and the pro.
And you still recommend using some type of, silicone around the rim?
Yeah, our sinks actually come with a rim seal as well, not on the bar sink, but on our kitchen sinks they have a rim seal. We do recommend in the instructions that you put a little bead of silicone in there just to stop the water from falling down in the hole.
There are all different shapes and sizes of businesses that come to this show, from the very small mom and pops to the mega corporations. Many of the well-known companies that you see at a hardware store are here showcasing the latest and greatest in their product line. But personally for me, I tend to spend less time at these booths just because I want to find those cool small finds. However, the one item that did make my top 10 list was from Dewalt, and they teamed up with a company called Quality Craft that makes one of the most unique toolboxes I've ever seen.
This is our Trangle toolbox. We offer them in the Montezuma brand as well as the Dewalt brand. Basically, the whole concept is based off of the Trangle design, which is a patent of our company, and every tool has a home. So you can load it up with both metric, standard sockets. You can use impact sockets. You've got your extension bars, ratchet storage here, long-handled screwdrivers here. You have a drill driver position on the side. And then underneath, we also have built-in power. So you can power your batteries and your battery chargers or cell phones or anything under here while you're on the job.
And you even mentioned the fact that if this is in the back of your truck, you can easily still not worry about any of these coming loose because of how long they are.
Yes,
correct?
because of the length of the tines, once the lid actually shuts and comes down on top of those tines, there's no space or gap. So if these were to jostle around, if you're going over rough terrain and so forth, the socket will not fall off the tine. It'll slide.
As someone with many tools jostling about, it is nice to know that some companies are considering that when designing products. And if you're a tool lover like me, you're going to love this show because there are a plethora of tools all over this entire convention center. On the smaller side of tool finds, we have the silica gun that has got to be the most compact caulk gun I've ever seen. Some extremely durable bits from Norski, which they did abuse quite significantly right in front of me. A tool that makes dispensing painter's tape a breeze and never have to find the seam ever again, and a very nice attachment for your oscillating multi-tool that provides a perfectly cut hole in your drywall for electrical boxes. But the small tool find that made my top 10 list was a stud finder from Franklin Sensor.
What is different about our stud finders is conventional stud finders have 1 to 3 sensors, but we are patent from 3 to 13. So this guy here has 13 sensors and 21 LEDs, and the more sensors and LEDs, the more accuracy and precision. So what you'll see here is that it will pick up any studs that are behind the wall. That includes single studs, double studs, and anything that's going to be behind there. What's also great is it has this feature of the center green LED, which will tell you that you've hit the center of the stud, so there's no guessing there. What's also a great feature on here is that it has the live wire meter, which can tell you if there's any live wires in the wall, and then the whole thing will illuminate once it has found the live wire. What's also great about this stud finder is that it comes with a couple extra features of the bubble vial and the pencil caddy here. So you have everything you need all in one stud finder.
And what is your website?
It is franklin-sensors.com.
This company had a number of different types of tools, but most of them being surrounded by either the stud finder or a leveling space. And these levels were definitely different because there are built-in LEDs for those levels. Pretty slick, but this show is so much more than just a couple simple tools. As I mentioned previously, there are a lot of items that are for the outdoor space as well, whether that's grills, bikes, too many decorations to count, whether that's an inflatable for the Christmas or Halloween time, or even Christmas trees. But personally, my favorite that made the top 10 list in terms of the outdoor space was simply a pergola. But not just any pergola, a DIY pergola.
Really customizable. It comes in a kit with 4 bases, like we see here, the 4 bases and the 4 corners. All you need to supply is the 4x4 lumber that you can make any size. We display it in a store with the shades, with the bracket. This is the other bracket that we have. We can make intimacy wall, also.
Like a privacy screen? Oh, nice.
Correct. Everything is included in the kit. You have stainless steel hardware. This is made from tubes that are cut and welded all the way through. It's super solid. It's 14 gauge. It's powder coated for weatherproof and weather resistant. So it's a very, very innovative solution. And yeah, we make it a turnkey solution for the DIYers of this world.
Is there a maximum size you generally recommend?
Yeah, we recommend to go a maximum of 12 feet long span.
And oh yeah, and what's the company name again?
Korto Structure is the brand.
There you go. Check them out.
As I mentioned previously, Orgill is a dealer show, and that means that this show is not open to the general public. If you're wondering who are all these people, well, the vast majority of people that are at this show are either people that are working the booth itself or involved with purchasing for hardware stores across the country. I was personally lucky enough to attend the show thanks to the Hardware Connection. They're an online publication and is striving to help independent hardware retailers, and if you want to check them out for yourself, I'll make sure there's a link for their website in the description box below. I'll also have links for my top 10 lists as well as any honorable mentions that you see in this video as well. Like most hardware stores, you have to have a lot of household goods on hand for repairs, and one specifically being plumbing. There's a plethora of plumbing products here, and even though the vast majority of these plumbing products are not innovative or interesting, I did find one.
This is called PEXLOCK. PEXLOCK is a clamp that was developed that has international patents on it, but it's a polymer that's rated at 45 below zero and 225 degrees Fahrenheit. It literally slips onto the end of the PEX, slide your fitting in, and you crimp it. And the simple system about it is it slides on the end, flush to the end of the pipe. It doesn't fall off. You take your fitting, insert your fitting, take your very expensive install tool, which is a pair of just channel locks, and it's just a simple squeeze until you get an audible click, and you are done. And that's the system, as simple as that. PEXLOCK can be reused up to 4 more times. So you simply put a screwdriver blade in there and it's a pop. It pops apart. Notice the compression on that.
And that compression is specifically from this device?
It is correct, yes. This clamp compresses that much down on the PEX and the fitting. You can literally slide it back, replace the fitting, and crimp it 4 more times. Here's the beauty about the system. We cover every barb that's on that system. So this fitting has 3 barbs on it. PEXLOCK comes in and covers the entire fitting itself.
There we go. And what type of warranty again?
25-year warranty. It is listed with NSF for potable water for hot and cold, and you can use it for radiant heat as well.
As someone who likes to get their hands dirty, it is really fun to go and walk this show just to feel and touch all these new, innovative, and different products. There's so many different tools, materials, and even lounging equipment that are on hand where you can personally test it out and see if this is something that you would want in your store. Personally, I always like to put my skills to the test in a speed round, even if I don't win, but inevitably speaking, it is really fun to have hands-on experience with so many different types of products in a short amount of time. One item I have personal experience with is resurfacing and repainting cabinetry, which is not an easy process, but BYOTrade seemingly is making it much easier for the homeowner.
Okay, this is cabinets, countertop furniture paint. It's perfect for interior and exterior projects. Basically, what you need to do is use a 3A microfiber nap roller, which is this one. Clean and degrease your surface and just grab a little bit of paint. As you can see, I'm not a professional painter, but I'm gonna do my best.
And so all you've done thus far with a cabinet door like this is use some type of simple degreaser and degreased it. You didn't abrade the surface at all, correct?
No, nothing, because the formula has already primer and sealer, so we don't need to sand, we don't need to stripe, we don't need to do anything. We also recommend apply the first coat, wait 2 hours, and then apply the second coat. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna speed up the drying process with this. So in 20 minutes will be dry to the touch, but we recommend apply the first coat, come back in 2 hours and apply the second coat.
I mean, you literally just did this in front of me, and it was, less than a minute ago, and it feels extremely tacky, or it doesn't feel tacky at all. It feels extremely smooth.
And look at the coverage, and it looks like that I spray it on, but I just use this roller. So I'm just gonna, with the paint that I have here, I'm just gonna apply the second coat, and I'm gonna just cover the areas that I missed in the first coat. Just gonna push.
And this can be applied to different surfaces than cabinetry, correct?
Yes.
It can be,
It can be ceramic tile. It bonds to anything: laminate, plastic, metal, wood, formica, anything.
Is there a specific product that you generally recommend using if you need to clean it up?
Just soap and water.
Soap and water, that's it. And where can you find the product?
BYOTpaint.com, there you go.
There was a sizable amount of painting items at this show from various different genres, whether it's literally paint machines because stores need paint machines, cool painting tools from Woodster where they have a built-in clip so the paintbrush can literally sit on the rim of the pail and not have to worry about damaging the bristles, or just a plethora of other cool products that involve the painting realm. However, the last and final item that made my top 10 list in the painting realm was a wood product that was also paint somehow.
So this is Retique wooden primer. When this dries on your surface, it will have an authentic wood finish that contains over 60% wood in it. It's actually made from recycled wood, so it's sustainable and stainable. These products are so durable that they can work on decking, yet they're water-based, low VOC, hardly any smell, so you can use them inside or out. We use them on countertops, use them on garage doors, front doors, basically any hard surface, tabletops, but cabinets are the big one. It goes on like paint. You'll notice no obnoxious fumes.
Yeah, I don't smell really anything right now.
You'll be working on entire cabinets, hardly smell anything. You don't need any respirator devices, or we would say put 2 to 3 coats down. The third coat is just a little touch-up coat, if there's anything that still needs help. Our process of drying, if you leave it without the blow dryer, we say up to 2 hours. Really more like an hour. With the blow dryer, I'm gonna have this done in about 3 or 4 minutes. This is our wooden stain. It contains...
And how is it, because I'm thinking of sawdust, but this is even smaller than sawdust. You wouldn't even call it sawdust,
it's actually kind of funny because there's a story behind that. The inventor went to many manufacturers to try to get the wood small enough to work in this system. They managed to get it so fine that you could put it in a paintable system. So graining is fun. All you do is just pull it straight down. You don't have to really move it a lot. You can. And you know, I really don't like that grain. So it's very forgiving. I'll just go back over it and do it again. You can do it over and over again until you like your grain. Usually it takes people about 2 or 3 minutes to get used to graining. Now I'm going to put a little more variation to it.
There we go.
And then we have the smaller graining tool. You'll notice that this one will let you do knots. This one is great to go next to it to make more of a variation. And then I'll do this again, and you do the grain any way you want. And see, I made a really, now this, I'll tell you, this part right here, it's because I did one layer and it wasn't quite dry. So please forgive that spot.
Now, are you just dragging it across, or are you kind of...
I'm dragging and rocking.
What's your website again?
It's Retique.com.
Retique.com.
And this is durable enough for decking, but it'll work on all points in between.
There we go. Check it out, guys.
If you know me, you know I'm a man that enjoys tools. A lot of tools. And that's why I like these shows, is because there's just such a wealth of amazing tools from all over the industry. Personally, I love speaking to reps for these companies because they know their products inside and out, and I can gain a tremendous amount of information in a very short amount of time on a plethora of different types of products that I might not have seen before. With that being said, my last and final item on my top 10 list has to be tool related, and it is. However, it's an item that holds tools on your chest.
So at Holstery, we're all about lightweight modularity without sacrificing comfort or durability. The whole concept is these individual tool holsters, everything's got a clip on it. So you can clip it onto your belt, clip it onto my belt. We've got the chest rig, a couple different belt solutions, but the whole idea is you can turn any belt you want into a tool belt and dress it up or dress it down for the task at hand. There's no need to wear these heavy, bulky belts and rigs that are overkill for most jobs. People take them to the job site, hang it on a nail, and just pull from it all day like a bucket. I prefer to work light and fast, and I think this is the perfect solution. We've got a whole array of clip-on individual tool holsters down here.
Yeah, well, wait, how do you have it set up over here?
So the way I've got my chest rig going, I've got my tape master right here, keeping the tape on. Pliers on my mag master, just slap them right there. And I've got my Dewalt right here on our new pin pal. So we've got 2 flat edges on this pin that you can install on drivers. Slides down on the slot, and I let gravity lock it. That's not gonna come off the top until I rotate it.
That's awesome.
Brand new, released about a week ago, is the Hook Master. Turn the hook out, pull it down to lock it in place, click it up. You can stow it away to either side. And our Joey pouch, of course, is great for holding your first aid kit, your cell phone, screwdrivers, whatever else you need. The Joey Pros allow you to clip a mag to the other side. So I've got a handful of fasteners right here, keeping them ready at my hands on the job. And I've got a double barrel strapped to the other side. Got a Pika in there and a Sharpie.
What's your website? Where are you going to find you?
Holstery.com, Holstery.com.
It was an honor to be a part of the Orgill show this year, and a show that I personally have never been to before until this year. One of the most impressive things about this show is that because it's a dealer show, there are huge store layouts built into a convention center, which means that they have everything arranged perfectly the way you would walk through a hardware store at your local neighborhood. Definitely a very fun, interactive, and innovative way to showcase all these products in a store atmosphere without having to be at a physical store yourself. And if you're worried about forgetting your cart, don't worry, they have plenty. They have a huge learning atmosphere as well because they want to make sure that all these stores succeed in the long run, and potentially BYOT might be on stage one year talking about how social media can help benefit companies in the long run. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever been to this show and which item that you like the most on my top 10 list. Plus, if you want to see another top 10 list from this show, let me know in the comment section because I just might do a second version of my top 10 list at Orgill. But no matter what the case is, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see all you sexy beasts at next year's show. Oh yeah,